Tobi Phillips, she has always thought she is wise. She has always thought she can manipulate things or have things in her favor. But with the way every single thing is happening in the palace right now, nothing is in favor of anybody. Yes, nothing, absolutely nothing is in favor of anybody because as it stands right now, Toby is at the king's mercy. And if he declares that don't enter, you will not enter. If he says stay away, she will stay away because Toby has absolutely nothing. The only thing that Toby would have felt she has strongly on the Ooni are the twins she gave birth to. But the rumors circulating those twins have already weakened the Ooni because they are evidence of paternity, they are evidence of maternity, they are evidence of DNA, they are evidence of she possibly buying those children. So every single thing around Toby right now is beginning to be questionable. And as it stands right now, the Ooni has ordered her not to enter the palace as well. So now, Toby Phillips stormed the palace some days ago. Some days ago, Toby Phillips came into the palace to question whosoever conceived the idea of giving Olori Naomi a title at the royal conference that held in Ile-Ife. And everybody was like, no, who are you here to question? Is he the elders? Is it the prominent men? Is it the women of Ile-Ife? Is it the men in council? Who exactly are you here to question? And then, Toby made lots of statements, did a lot of things in the palace, down to a point that the Ooni's father even had to caution her that stop this thing you are doing, it does not make sense, making utterances that were not meant to be heard. So right now, Toby knew at some point that nothing she's doing is being in her favor. So she decided to go to Lagos. And upon arriving in Lagos, what we heard she did allegedly was to get gifts and visit Olori Naomi. Of course, Olori Naomi owns one of the biggest perfume lines in Lagos, and anybody can storm there at any time and visit her, pay her a visit, and she would accept the person. She's a very kind person with a good heart, and she would never send them away. So that is what she did. But prior to this incident, my people, Toby dragged Olori Naomi vehemently on the internet that Olori Naomi sold fake business ideas to her. The same business ideas that Naomi have used to expand her business from Lagos to Abuja is the same business idea that Toby called fake. But right now, Toby is still going to go make peace with that same person. So all of these things have been a very, very turn off to the Ooni, because why will you keep on going after Olori Naomi? Every single thing that concerns Olori Naomi has been something that Toby will fight against it. Yes, it has just been something that Toby would fight against it over time. Yes, it has just been something that Toby if nothing about Naomi that Toby likes lately since Toby returned into the palace, despite the fact that it was even Naomi that called Toby come into the palace and celebrate with us, and then Toby had a chance to remain in the palace, stay and all of those things. Yet it has not been favorable. It has not been favorable for Toby, for Naomi, in terms of Toby at all. And it was when Toby came into the palace to come do this celebration of a thing with Naomi that they later discovered that Toby was pregnant and all of those things. Then she stayed, gave birth to her twins, and now there is so much concerning these twins. So with all of those things put together, the Ooni has looked into it and told Toby that stay away from the palace. Yes, because she knows very well that if she goes back to the Ooni, she would find favor. If she go back to the Ooni, she might find a place to reconnect. If she go back to the Ooni, she will definitely find that room where it is called pity, where it is called mercy. But the Ooni is not showing it to anybody of recent. Yes, the Ooni is not showing that part of himself to anybody lately. Remember when Miriam's husband came out to speak? The Miriam's husband came out to speak to tell Ooni that if Ooni is weak, he cannot handle Miriam. So it seems like Ooni has already taken this advice into consideration, because if you are weak, you cannot handle any of the wives he has. Yes, even the ones who are silent, forget it. If the Ooni is weak, he cannot handle any one of them, because these women have come to a point of understanding. Most of them are already married to other men. They have already seen all that they ought to see in this world, and what they are there for is just to scatter whatsoever is in progress. And that is what Miriam is doing, that's what Ronke is doing, that's what Temitope is doing. And the more their husbands keep coming out, the more the truth keeps getting revealed on daily basis. So right now, no, Ooni is taking that step that none of them expected. I remember what the men in council told him, including Oba Elegushi. He told him that, see, if you stick to what has happened before, that when you got married to these women, they were obedient, they were those amazing sweet souls, they listen to you, then you would not take actions that you are meant to take. Walk past that phase and treat these women exactly the persons they have become. Deal with them based on the fact that they have chosen not to listen to you. They are those persons that you never wanted them to be. Treat it with them that way. And the Ooni has taken all of this into consideration. He has taken the advice people have given him, and he is ready to act on it. In fact, he's already acting on it. He already told Miriam not to step her foot into the palace. Some days ago, we heard how he commanded the shutting down of the Olori quarters and ordered for immediate demolition, of which we are not sure it will take place, because that would be a lot of waste of resource if they go ahead to demolish the Olori quarters that Ooni actually brought in a lot of resource to build for those women to leave his palace and move into it. It will be a lot of waste of resource. But that one, he has the resource, so he can do whatsoever it is that he wants to do. And right now, he has ordered Tobi Phillips not to step her foot into the palace. This ordering of not step your foot into the palace, Ooni is not the first person to do it. The elders had already told Tobi Phillips not to step her foot into the palace. And when they found caught Olori Ronke with calabash moving around making incantations, it was still the same thing. The women of Ile-Ife ordered that she leaves the palace immediately. They cannot condone such an attitude. So right now, he's not just the only one making it. And remember how the women of Ile-Ife take actions on people. They come, they take you out. So if she doesn't yield to what the Ooni have said, then this time around, the women of Ile-Ife might have to come take her out, because these are the most diligent persons we have known in that palace. Is it bribe? They have never collected. Is it being biased? Those women are always on the lane of truth, and they have always said that it needs to be heard. And they have not even bothered themselves concerning what people would think, what people would do, or any single thing. They shall know that what is meant to be there is meant to be there, and that is exactly what they are going to do. So right now, my people, now so the matter can't take bio. Tobi Phillips have also woken up the lion, and the lion have said you would not sleep as well. So as it stands right now, it has become a thing between Tobi and the Ooni, because the Ooni is not set to take it lightly with her. Yes, obviously, from what we are seeing, obviously, from all we are observing, the Ooni is set not to take it lightly with her. And no matter what happens, Tobi has brought these things upon herself. Tobi came back into the palace. Fine, you were pregnant, you gave birth to children, so why take it upon yourself to destroy Naomi, who is not fighting you? Why take it upon yourself to make sure that Naomi's downfall is your top priority? Naomi going down is what you ought to achieve, and all of those things. So right now, it is just a matter of time. We will see how everybody who chose to fight Naomi will go down the drain. Everybody who chose to fight Naomi instead of stay by her side and support her will go down.